L. May 1945. The war in Europe is over. American soldiers are moving through a collapsed Germany. They are not looking for survivors. They are looking for scientists. Men with hands. And they find them. This is the story of Operation Paperclip, a classified U.S. government program that recruited over 1,600 Nazi scientists, engineers, and doctors. Men who had used concentration camp prisoners as human test subjects. Men whose files the U.S. government personally altered, removing evidence of war crimes so they could enter America legally. That is not speculation. That is confirmed in the 1999 Nazi War Crimes Disclosure Act records. The U.S. government falsified its own immigration documents to protect war criminals because they needed what those men knew. These are 10 classified facts about Operation Paperclip, sourced from declassified National Security Archive files and CIA records. Some of these facts were hidden for over 50 years. Number 10. The program did not begin with a name. It began with a target list. U.S. Army intelligence compiled profiles of Germany's top scientific minds before the war even ended. Rocket engineers, chemical weapons specialists, aviation experts. The paperclip on each file marked them as priority acquisitions. That paperclip became the operation's name. Number 9. The Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, the JIOA, ran the program. Their official mission: deny German scientific talent to the Soviet Union. The Cold War had not yet officially begun, but the Americans were already playing it. Number 8. Werner von Braun was their crown jewel. He had designed the V-2 rocket, a weapon that killed thousands of civilians in London and Antwerp. His factory used slave labor from the Mittelbau-Dora concentration camp. Prisoners were worked to death building his rockets. The U.S. government knew this. They brought him to America anyway. He later directed NASA's Apollo program. Number 7. The State Department and the FBI objected. J. Edgar Hoover's FBI flagged multiple recruits as dangerous. The State Department warned these men had Nazi Party memberships and documented war crimes. The JIOA overruled them, then altered the scientists' records to erase the objections entirely. This is documented in declassified JIOA internal memos held by the National Security Archive. Number 6. At least 16 of the recruited scientists had been members of the SOS. The SS was not a military unit. It was the organization that ran the concentration camps. SS membership alone was a war crime under Nuremberg law. These men received U.S. government contracts. Number 5. Kurt Blome was on the list. He had been a senior Nazi biological weapons scientist. He was tried at the Nuremberg doctors' trial for conducting plague experiments on concentration camp prisoners. He was acquitted on a technicality. The U.S. Army hired him weeks later to continue biological weapons research. Number 4. The program extended beyond Germany. Declassified CIA records show the agency separately recruited former Nazi intelligence officers through a parallel operation. One key figure: Reinhard Gehlen, Hitler's chief of intelligence on the Eastern Front. The CIA rebuilt his entire spy network inside the new West Germany. Many of his agents were former Gestapo members. Number 3. The scientists were not isolated in labs. They lived in American communities, in Huntsville, Alabama, in Dayton, Ohio, in Fort Bliss, Texas. Some were given American citizenship within years of arrival. Their neighbors did not know who they were. Their files were sealed. Number 2. Congress was not informed. The program operated under executive authority, shielded from congressional oversight for decades. The full scope was not disclosed until the Nazi War Crimes Disclosure Act of 1999 forced the release of classified documents. Over 8 million pages. It took an act of Congress to make the government admit what it had done. Number 1. The rockets that carried Americans to the moon were built on a foundation of slave labor and classified war crimes. That is not an accusation. That is what the documents say are. The same hands that designed the Saturn V had signed off on the deaths of concentration camp prisoners at Dora. The U.S. government made a calculated decision. Scientific advantage was worth more than justice. And for 50 years, they made sure you never found out. The question is not whether it happened. The question is, what does it say about a nation that it did?